In this video, I'll be discussing the 5 biggest reasons why I was constantly arguing with my girlfriend at the beginning of our relationship. I've been in a healthy and stable relationship for a year and a half now, and I can confidently say that the beginning of our relationship was hell. Honeymoon phase? Yeah, no, fuck that. It was like we skipped straight into year 6 or 7 of dating. 6, 7! I'm sorry, I had to say that. As I was saying, I was extremely new to dating at the time. In fact, this was my first go at a long-term relationship, so there were many things I had to learn, and it wasn't always easy. But I can undoubtedly say that after you crack the code of solving arguments, your relationship becomes so much easier and way less stressful. For anyone that is in a new or existing relationship that just can't figure out how to solve this problem, watch until the end of this video to learn how you can fix this issue. So, here's exactly what I learned and observed from many failed arguments. Reason number 1. Trying to win the argument rather than solving the problem. If you go into an argument trying to win it rather than attempting to solve the issue at hand, you are immediately cooking yourselves and making it so much more difficult to have a meaningful conversation. You need to let go of your ego and understand that it's not you versus her or you versus him. The entire end goal of an argument is to come to a consensus and or an agreement, not to win it. I understand that this one is especially hard because you actually might be in the right and your partner is wrong, but that doesn't matter. Arguing just to prove your point will never end well. From my personal experience, every time I did end up winning an argument, it was honestly worse because my girlfriend just got even more pissed off. So which one is really worth it? Winning an argument or seeing your girlfriend pissed off? For me personally, I would rather just not feed my ego, try to work something out and see my girlfriend happy than trying to win a stupid, pointless argument. Reason number 2, reacting first instead of just calming down. This is one that I personally have the hardest time doing, but it is definitely the biggest detriment in the argument. Just like going into an argument with the mindset of winning, starting off by yelling or cussing out the other person will never end well. You will always be able to have a better conversation if you just speak calmly and with a clear head. I hate to admit it, but I've hurt my girlfriend so many times by yelling and saying rude things. And not only does it affect the argument at hand, but it makes you seem untrustworthy. If you're a person that likes to start off the conversation by trying to rage bait, cuss out, or yell at your partner, you need to stop it. She or he will eventually stop trying to express their feelings to you and end up keeping it all to themselves. You want to be the person that your partner can feel safe around, not scared of. If you get angry for whatever reason at the beginning of an argument, this is what you can do to calm down in order to have a meaningful argument. Don't argue right away and just take 5 or 10 minutes or however long you need to understand why you're angry and what you can do to fix it. I promise you, if you do this before arguing every time, I can guarantee you that you will actually get something out of the argument and it won't result in any tears or grudges. Most of the time, we don't even understand what we are arguing about, and a lot of arguments are just straight up pointless. By having that time to reflect and understand why you are both upset, you end up having a more successful, toned down, and critical argument. Reason number 3, not listening to what the other person is saying and just waiting your turn to reply. Turning off your brain in an argument and thinking of comebacks while the other person is talking is a great way to extend arguing. The amount of times I've dragged on conversations because I wouldn't listen and just focused on getting my point across is absolutely insane. The biggest part of coming to a consensus is understanding why the other person is upset and has an issue in the first place. Without knowing this, it's impossible to get anything out of it. And if neither of you are listening to each other, then what are you arguing for? Listening is almost always better than saying anything. You should both practice taking turns expressing your issues. You get to say what is bothering you without any interruptions, and they do the same while you listen. It seems so simple, yet it's the most effective way to have a good conversation. Reason number 4, never coming to an actual solution and moving on like nothing ever happened. Like I said, you argue to come to a solution and to avoid similar issues in the future. It might seem like a good idea to just leave it and move on like nothing happened, but this will hurt your relationship long term, I promise. Reason being is that this argument will most likely come up again in the future, and the more you ignore it, the more likely it will be to come up again in the future. Remember that arguments happen in the first place because there is some sort of disagreement. And what is the point of arguing if not to solve this disagreement? We are Charlie Kirk, we carry the flame. Okay, I'm actually done with that shit now. I'm just trying to find ways to fill in this video a little bit. It's a little shorter than I expected, but straight into the point for you guys. So now let's get on to our fifth and final reason. Keeping your feelings to yourself rather than communicating them. Funny enough, I actually had an argument yesterday with my girlfriend because of this. Because I wasn't communicating my feelings well enough to her. I love just saying I'm fine when I'm not actually okay, but this also affects my girlfriend's mood as well. Your partner knows when you are upset, trust me, and it stresses them out knowing that you are upset with something and not saying anything. Most of my arguments start because I don't convey my feelings properly. Learning how to convey your feelings is 100% the number one key to having a successful relationship. Communication is key, and you'll hear it all the time because it's absolutely true. By simply just conveying your feelings and saying what's on your mind, it can completely avoid an argument, which is what you're trying to do in the first place. So even if you ignore all these steps and learn how to become a better communicator, you can honestly avoid so many arguments. Relationships are tough, and you're going to have to go through a lot of trial and error, especially with learning how to properly communicate your feelings and argue effectively to come to a solution. That being said, arguments aren't at all a bad thing. It shows that you care about your partner, and it's something that everyone has to go through in a relationship, whether you like it or not. Stay strong and try to work things out no matter what, and if it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. I hope this video was in any way useful to you guys. I'm still pretty new to commentary and YouTube in general, so if you have any suggestions on how to improve or any video topics, gameplay you'd like me to explore, just let me know in the comments. Thank you. 6'7", 6'7", 6'7", 6'7", 6'7", 6'7", 6'7", 6'7".